Now, last time we talked about perception. The key element, it's always that idea that one individual, no matter who you are, can bring to the table that really amplifies the way everybody can look on something that everybody has seen a million times. That's one of the very, very cool and beautiful things about Michael Chapman's edits of First Blood and First Blood Part 2, and this amazing assembled fan cut with all the footage that he could get his hands on. It really gives you, I can't thank you enough, because I've always said that. It's the idea that one can bring to the table that can change the world and change the perception of things. So I'm very happy to be covering, all these fan edits and to have Mike on the show. He's like such a great guy, and to tell you that you can get this too at home, and it's just awesome. It's just awesome. Like, don't take my word for it. Just go. Well, take my word for it, but go out and get these on your own to see. Like even the screen ratio, that does so much for it. Like going back and watching the TV cut again, it was like, your eye catches on so much more because it's full screen. I never, a lot of films I really didn't like in full screen, but to actually have the chance to go back and watch this in full screen, it was like, wow. It really helped deliver more to my mind than what I thought I saw. And I saw a lot. So wow, that televised cut was amazing. Wasn't it? It was just amazing. There's so many subtle differences that it really gives its own merit, from the theatrical version. And, I remember when Rambo was climbing down that cliff, it even seemed that the tempo of the score was slightly tweaked for a deeper and more dramatic sound. Like slightly slower. That's just one of the reasons why you got to pick this up. Funny story, when I got this this in the mail, my great niece was over. So I couldn't watch it, even though all the bad words and violence were edited out. Her mom, I guess, remembered when I watched it with her when she was very young, and said no way. But I remember, way back in season 1 when I was doing the photo shoot for the First Blood review, she was there, and she was, just really, really into it, like crazy. Like that moment of vertigo when Rambo begins his descent down the cliff face. She was like, "No, Rambo, don't do it." And I was like, "Savior, don't do it. It's for later." Anyway, so I decided to wait a bit to do this review of the extended version because my friend Cornell wanted to watch it with me. We recently had Chapman on to talk about this cut, and I can't wait to share that with you. I wanted to do like what do you call that? Like a commentary with my friend, but we were unable to. So I may ask Chapman if he wants to come back and do one with me. Funny story about the screening for this review. Cornell and I we don't really get a lot of time to hang out. So we got some beers and some party favors for the occasion, and after my 5th beer, I noticed I was drinking non-alcoholic beer. That's, just how much you should trust me on this. You must have, how much trust you must have in me or for me at home. But I'll try not to let you down. My girlfriend made fun of me, pretty harshly for that, might I add. Yeah, so this is just a great cut. A masterpiece of fan editing. This is by far my favorite work print of all time, taking the lead from John G. Avildsen's amazing director's cut of Rocky V, which I promise you we will cover one day when we do the dogfight documentary. I might ask Mike Kunda if he wants to come on for that as well. You know, this just has everything you would expect and more. It's brilliant. You know, so contact Chapman and get it now. I think there's even an extra scene that I didn't see in the Atia footage with Teasel arriving, chaperoned back to the station and having some words with civilians and authorities just outside the police station. You know, just wonderful. If you're a Rambo fan, this one's for you. You know, it really does have everything. It's got everything. You know, alternate played out scenarios, infused scenes, you know, which many will surprise you, might I add. You get an alternate ending, which corresponds a bit with all the, you know, other, well, it corresponds with our godlike Passover theme for the day. You know, you get the Saigon flashback, Rambo checking the bullets, a seedier side of Troutman, a more regretful Teasel, the hidden side of the goodbye in the bar scene between Teasel and Troutman. You know, the list goes on and on and on. I know I mentioned before that the bad words in the violence were edited out. That's not the case with this cut. With Chapman's full cut, the extended cut of First Blood, all that great violence and all that great language is in there. Some of it's a little different, but it's fucking awesome. The screen ratio changes, you know, between the DVD version and the TV edited version, but it's really subtle. After the first 2 times, you don't really notice it. It's just really fused greatly, even down to the music. Chapman really edited this pretty seamlessly together. Like, it's really done well. It's really done well. Especially like the cut to the base camp, you know, with Kern's introduction, and Teasel being more remorseful and angry at himself for letting things escalate and getting out of control as they did. Chapman's editing on this is brilliant. I can't say enough good things about it. You really gotta go check this out. You really gotta see this. A must for any Rambo fan. Like, this is the ultimate version of First Blood. This is a force of filmmaking to be reckoned with. And a point I wanted to make earlier is, it's pretty much the closest thing that we have to what the test audiences saw way back in late 81 or early 82. You know, very critically acclaimed, very controversial screenings of First Blood in the beginning, right down to wanting to hang the director for giving Rambo the axe at the end. And that martyristic quality of the death of Rambo, you know, what could have changed Rambo's history forever. Who knows, maybe Sly wouldn't have been the household name we know him today as. We know him as Rocky and we know him as Rambo, but imagine what could have happened. It could have been pandemonium. I do believe the world is a better place since Rambo had all his adventures, though. I'm not trying to knock it, but this seriously is just like one of those moments in film history where it could have went the other way. You know, it really could have went the other way. They were trying to make it go the other way. You know, so it's by luck that they did those reshoots, and it's by luck that Rambo survived. But this is just a very touching play on that of what could have happened. You know, the alternate universe. And it's really sad. It makes the ending that much sadder. You know, when Troutman has to pull that... Well, Troutman doesn't really pull the trigger. Rambo pretty much pulls the trigger, but that look on Troutman's face that he couldn't save this perfect creation. And my favorite part, which is the close-up on Rambo's face at the end, at peace at last. it almost looks like he's smiling, but it definitely looks like at complete zen peace, you know, after, for the first time in the film, you know, within the last frames of the film. It really did make me cry. It really kind of also brought me back to the first time I watched First Blood, you know, being a small kid, and that experience. I'm really thankful that I got to have this experience. So thank you, Mr. Chapman. This is just phenomenal. So this is, you know, really a force of filmmaking to be reckoned with. I want to thank Michael Chapman for taking the time to put this together and for making it available to the public and for submitting this to our show and for coming on the show. And I am forever in your debt. This is the greatest gift anyone has ever given to me, and I can't thank you enough. This really does amplify the feeling that Stallone, Dennehy, and Crenna should have gotten Oscars for this film. Ted Kotcheff too, and you know, Mario Kassar and Andrew Vanya, and Mike Chapman. You should get the Lifetime Achievement Award and Pulitzer Prize for putting this thing out, because this will just tug at your heartstrings. Like I said, I cried. It gave me a whole new perception of Rambo. You know, it's just wow. It's just wow. Like wow. Check this thing out. So when we come back, we're gonna play you that interview. You know, I can't thank you all enough at home for watching and tuning into Rambomania. You guys at home, you really do make the difference. You make all the difference. The world's really been a better place getting to know you all. I love you guys. I couldn't do this without you. And when we come back, like I said, we're going to play that awesome Michael Chapman interview. And so let's give it up. Michael Chapman's in the house when Rambomania continues.